Welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squalia. We're talking about manufacturing training programs and manufacturing training for jobs, right? That's what we're talking about tonight. I have representatives from Mount Wachusett Community College with me tonight. John Henshaw, Brianna Pena.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you
All
very much.
right, so we're talking about the Mount Wachusett Community College Advanced Manufacturing Training Program.
Yeah, and so thank you for having us. We're very excited to be able to talk to everybody to let them know that we have this set of training programs that we've developed in partnership with local industry to try to provide some training that will give people the skills that they can get into a job in a local manufacturing company and a job that's a technical field. So we focus on automation, robotics, quality, the things that modern manufacturing needs. So we're glad to talk with you about that. I've got a lot of details to share, and Brianna is the person that works with the students and helps them get into the program and then makes sure they're doing well, and when they're done, connects them with potential job opportunities, because the employers in the region need skilled workers, and they're paying good wages, and they also have good career paths. So
you see a lot of job offers for our manufacturing jobs out there, like DRS, for example, SMC over in Devens. We have Nipro over in Devens. We have a lot of Micron products right in Fitchburg.
Absolutely.
You see a lot of job opportunities. I hear that there's not a lot of skilled workers out there. So that's really what we're trying to do here, is train our future generation.
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking for 17 to 29-year-olds that are high school diploma or high set GED equivalent that want to work and learn this new trade that's out there that gets a really good career pathway for them as they grow into this career opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 17 to 29-year-olds, right? So you're
Correct.
focused on those who have already gotten a high school diploma or equivalent.
yeah, and they may have work experience, they may have college credits, and the reason that we're focused on 17 to 29 years olds are the federal government, the U.S. Department of Labor, knows that we have an aging workforce in manufacturing and technical skills, and so we need to replace those that are retiring, but also there's a lot of expansion going on. So they put a solicitation out for organizations to try to address this need, and in North Central Mass, we came to the table and partnered with North Central Chamber of Commerce and companies to identify a skill set that's needed, put together a training program, and were awarded the funding. And the funding from the federal government is what allows us to provide the training at no cost to the eligible participants, which means that somebody is ready to work, interested in working, they've gotten through high school, they've got a secondary credential, and whether they have college credit or not, we'll be able to find a pathway to a future for them. And now they could come into our program. So these are 6-week training programs, 20 hours a week, so it's fairly intensive. It's not as many hours as they'd be working. And some people do work, of course, while they're taking the training. But we give them a variety of different skills. We do things like introducing them to the electromechanical systems that move automated processes along, the programmable logic controllers that are the computers, the brains in an operation to tell the machinery what to do so that the pieces can be assembled together to make the devices. And so the companies that you named, a lot of them are in the medical device arena, so they have a high demand because there's a lot of need for their products, but these are very specialized products that rely on a lot of components. So oftentimes they're injection molded pieces where you'll have a robotic assembly taking off the parts and then putting them into an automated assembly train.
An endless stream.
On it goes, and they're doing thousands and thousands, and they got vision systems testing to making sure everything is properly aligned or put together right so that the product that comes out will meet the customer specification. And this is very important because, of course, these are products that are helping people's lives because they're medical devices. They could be EpiPens, they could be insulin pumps, they could be any variety of different products. And because they are used for human health, there's a high demand that the systems be in place, the testing, the quality control is addressed. And so that's the second program we have. We have 2 programs. One is called automation technician training, and we have a cohort starting in July 10th.
July 10th starts the first of your 2 program paths.
Yes, and so that'll be 6 weeks, 20 hours a week. It's a Tuesday through Friday during the day at our Devens campus, 27
At
Jackson
your Devens
Road.
campus.
Yep.
Right, we're right in the
Right
heart
in
of the
hub
industrial
where
area.
things are happening. So, you know, it's the employers are right there too. So that's a good part of it, as they are right here in Fitchburg and in Leominster.
And the second of your career.
So then we have a quality technician training.
Quality
so somebody
technician.
could come in and they could take the 6 weeks of automation, and then Brianna can help them get a job and they can move on. And for some folks, they may want to take the second 6 weeks and do the quality technician.
When does that one start?
August 21st.
August. So you could take both programs. Is that true?
This time around, the quality class is going to actually be running at night. So we're going to switch it up a little bit and see how that works. So incumbent workers that are out there within that age bracket might be able to benefit from it as well. And we're going to do that from 4 to
very
9.
helpful.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be really helpful.
So the people that you really focus, you're focusing on young high school graduates that might not have college in their future. They don't necessarily want to go to college. They might not work well in the college environment, a 2-year college or a 4-year college, but a career in the manufacturing industry is a good career path.
Absolutely.
Right? And this gets you into that. And thanks to your grant with the Department of Labor and your program that you've developed, qualified individuals can take this for free. Is that correct?
For free, yeah, absolutely. I look at it as a great opportunity for our students that are not really sure what they want to do, but they know that they would eventually like to make some good money as a career opportunity to kind of put their toe in the water. Give it a try. It's a free opportunity to get some really good skills underneath their belt at the very least. And then, you know, the hope is I'll be able to connect them with some jobs in this local central Mass area. And whether they choose to go on into you know, at Mount Wachusett, continue on for a 2-year or a 4-year, this can start their pathway. They can see what college is a little bit about, see if they like it. If not, there's 2 great opportunities right there. So.
And how many students can you take in your program? Is it going to fill up?
So right now, we run small courses because we want it to be very personalized. We run about 14 students per cohort, so both for automation technician training and the quality technician training. Our automation class right now is about 8 students with a few months to go. So we still have plenty of room for people that are interested. The reason why we do small is we want them not to get overwhelmed. We want them to have hands-on experiences. And if we really pack a room full, the classes itself will lose its touch and not have that hands-on experience as often. And we know that's what sells the class. It gives them the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
So one of the advantages that we have is that we are building off a prior federal grant that we were able to acquire about $800,000 worth of training equipment. So we have this simulated automation cell with a FANUC robot in the middle of it that moves the pieces along the line. And so
you don't just get theoretical
It's all
training.
hands-on.
You get to make the robot grab the pieces. And
Our instructor likes to say that she teaches about 10% of the time and 90% is hands-on learning. So again, it's such a
it's perfect for people that don't necessarily want to go to college and sit and read the books, and you want the hands-on training.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And so what we have found too is that when you get this learning, and we have e-learning that goes with it, so you'll get access to content that's on the computer, so that you can study in advance until you'll know what you're going to get the next day when you come into the class and what you're going to be working on. So it gives you the ability to do some more outside, so that you're really ready to rock and roll when you come into class the next day. And then even when the program ends, the license stays on, and we found people that continue to learn for the whole 4-month license of this e-learning, electronic learning. And so the hands-on nature is good, because that's what you're going to need to use when you have your job, but you're also doing it in an environment that we have seen this where students become acclimated to coming to college, and all of a sudden, hey, wow, I just did college, I can do this. So
you can take that
boosting
6-week
confidence.
program, and then you have further opportunities like a 2nd-tier robotics certificate. Is that correct?
Yes. So after the automation technician training, you can take an additional 40-hour training that is a robotic certification class, We have 3 FANUC robots, similar to, they're like the smallest industrial grade robot, but they are industrial grade. So students will learn how to program that and work with that. We also have credit programming at the college where they can get a 1-year certificate where each content area we've covered, like pneumatics and hydraulics or industrial electricity, will now have an entire course around it so you can dig in deeper. And what we have found is students that have taken a short-term training, gotten a job, and then they'll take a class to learn more as they go along. And so they could finish a certificate or a 2-year associate degree, and oftentimes the employers will have a tuition reimbursement program because employers are really looking for those skilled laborers now. And if you're a good employee, you show up that you're ready to learn and ready to work, they'll invest in you, and they realize that that's what they've got to do for the future of their company.
Sounds like a really incredible opportunity. I mean, because, you know, if college is one, you know, lately in our society, everyone's been pushing college as the career path. But everyone knows that some people just don't want to go to college. That's not right for them. They're the hands-on technicians. And so we're losing that segment, you know, of our next generation of workers. And the manufacturing programs, the manufacturing jobs of today are nothing like the manufacturing jobs of 30 years ago, correct? Today it's more computer programming and robots and devices. And back then it was a lot of hot, labor-intensive work.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely correct. A lot of people assume that when you say robotics, you know, they're going to take our jobs away from us, right? And I just joke around and say, you know, they're taking the manual labor away from us in some cases, but now we need to get our students to be skilled in the fact that they can program them, they can maintain them, and these are jobs that are not as labor intensive, but also pay a lot better down the road. So it's a long-term career investment.
And you know, their robots are not going away.
No.
All right, they are here to stay. So you either catch the wave and go with the flow and start learning how to program these things, or you get swept away, right?
Yeah, and the other thing to point out is that a lot of these jobs are actually in clean room environments, so that's climate controlled. In some cases, you'll have to wear, you know, protective clothing to make
Sometimes it's a little chilly in the clean room, actually. Yeah.
It can be. So then you come out on a summer day and woof, you hit the hot. But
so would you say a majority of the manufacturing jobs that you train for are clean room environments?
There's a high percentage. We have such a diverse economy here for the different manufacturing, you know, that is done. So it could be, you know, corrugated boxes all take automation and assembly and things like that. So things that don't have the sensitivity of a medical device or electronics assembly also needs to be in a controlled environment. So that's an important part of our economy too. So certainly it seems to be going towards a greater percentage are in that clean environment. There are a lot of other opportunities that are not, and those are not going to go away because those are just as important. But certainly we have seemed to found a niche. You know, this is the plastic central here, you know, where it all started for industry in the U.S., and the companies have really migrated to a lot of these more sophisticated devices. So,
and it's a good collaboration because you are literally training the today's kids, 17 to 29-year-olds, on machines that are being used in the industry today locally.
Right. So we have similar equipment. We don't have the full, you know, what we have in a small room is just a kind of like a shrunken down version of what an employer would use. And also you're going to go to your job and you're going to learn something more specific on the specific equipment that they have in place, but you'll have been introduced to the fundamentals of you know, operating a timing cam, for example, that controls how things move, or troubleshooting, you know, with a voltmeter, or and one of the other things that we have found, and we've got some great vocational high school programs around, but not everybody can get into those programs, and so we have a lot of students that have gone to a comprehensive high school and have not been able to get the hands-on that probably would really benefit from it. So that's another one of our real target areas.
That's true. We have Monty Tech, but you know they don't accept all the students that want to go there. They can't take everybody. And so this is another opportunity.
That's right. I think statewide they say there's 3,000 to 5,000 vocational slots that is a waiting list to get in. You know, so it's not just here at Monty Tech and in North Central Mass, but it's a statewide issue. How do we address this? There's different things being discussed. Here's an opportunity now. If you've gone to high school and you're not sure what you want to do, here's a program to explore. So we invite people to come down, have a look, see the equipment. And yes, we have a program going July 10th, but then we have the second one that goes in August, and then we'll be running another one in the fall. So for the next 2 years, we're going to be running these sequentially so that we can train the folks up. So there'll be opportunities. The sooner you get in, the sooner you can get trained and get a decent job.
This is a no-lose opportunity. This is only a win. Yeah. Especially if you've been looking for employment and you're ready and you're not sure exactly what you want to do. This sounds like a great opportunity.
It really is. And we were very lucky. We have a very strong placement rate for a job. Our companies are always reaching out to us looking for.
Well, you literally are training them in what they want their workers to do. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. And you know, one thing I definitely highlight with my students all the time is that you know, not everyone's a morning person. And that's the beautiful thing about manufacturing, is that it's usually
they
it can
do
be shift work.
Multi-shifts.
They can either do 12-hour shifts, they can do first shift, second shift, third shift. And so if you're more of a night person, I have one student that loves third shift. That's all she wants. And you know what?
Well, she probably has no problem getting a job
Absolutely.
then.
Yeah, right.
You know, some people are morning, they love the morning, and so they, you know, will focus on the first shift. The beauty is we can make it work.
And did you say 12-hour shifts? So you could do 3 days a week you could
Every
work?
company has different shift schedules, and that, you know, that's the beauty of it. We can try to see what works for you.
Yeah, the jobs of tomorrow aren't just 8 to 4, 9 to 5.
Absolutely not. And you know, the other nice part is if they choose to go on to a Mount Wachusett for a 2-year or 4-year institution after these programs, they can still do the classes and have a job because we can work their schedules around their work schedule.
Because you do a lot of night classes, because you gear towards those working adults.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it could be a win-win across the board for them.
So how do, say someone's watching this and they're like, this is perfect for my grandson, or they're like, you know, I'm really interested. How do they sign up?
Yeah, so they can give me a call at Mount Wachusett at the Devens campus, so Brianna Pena. I don't know, I can say can I say my number now right now for you guys?
Sure,
right? 978-630-9552 is my direct line. They'll reach out to me. And you know, I invite everybody, all the audience, if they have anybody in mind that want to check it out, call us up. Our instructors are always willing to do tours, and so they can see the machines and the robots firsthand. It really sells it when they see it a lot in person.
It sounds exciting. I almost want to do it, but I'm busy enough. Hey, Mike, can we pull up the flyer for this program on the screens in case there's more information on that flyer?
So please give me a call. Come down, check it out. You know, we want to get the class nice and full for the July and August cohort. So, and if for some reason
that's what your training program?
The classes, yeah, we call them the cohorts, but they're the classes for the training program. So, yeah.
But cohort's a good word because we also find when people come in together or they know each other, they learn together. You know, they help each other learn. It's not like you're in competition with anybody. Like, I got to get the best GPA. No, you just want to learn the material so that you can go get a job and maybe you'll go work at the same place.
So, on that note, can you fail the training program? Can we take it and be like, can I fail?
So there is no A, B, C, D, and Fs. There's no necessarily pass or fail. The real part is that they have to show up, come on time. And if they don't show up for a certain amount of classes that we've designed, we usually give them 3 excused absences over the course of the 6 weeks.
3 excused absences?
We understand life happens. We do understand that, so we do give excused absences. However, if they abuse that, then there's the fail aspect of it. But, you know, that has very rarely happened because they get so enthralled with it, and they're coming on days off. Like, it's great.
So, and I mean, like anything, 98% is showing up.
Yes,
that's right.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what the employers tell us as well. Find us some candidates that have some fundamental knowledge and that will show up. We'll take it from there. Employers do a lot of training.
There we go. That's the one, Mike.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So Brianna, 978-630-9552.
There it is. Automation technician training. This is one of them.
That's one of them. Yep.
Yep.
That's the one with the more of the robot piece of it.
The automation technician training, that's with the robotic.
Yes.
And this is the one that's going in August.
July.
July.
Yes.
Okay.
So the quality will be in August. And another thing I wanted to point out with you, Sam, is that for you know, John was talking about the extra credentialing they get for automation technician training is the extra robotic certification.
Yes.
For quality, we can't leave that one out either. We help pay a big portion of the American Society of Quality national exam. It's a very national-wide credential that is usually about a $400 fee, and we pay about 75% of that for them.
Not
so
bad.
we do help our students out. We want to make sure that they're being successful, but we also want them to have that commitment and that buy-in for this very prestigious credentialing that they have.
So American Society of
Quality.
Quality,
Yep,
ASQ. And this is something I assume that many of our local businesses require their technicians to get.
They would love it for them to have it, and we've actually had people that are incumbent workers come and take the training so that they could get it. You know, people get into the quality arena oftentimes after working in manufacturing and showing good attention to detail and learning as they go. By getting this credential, boom, you know, they're going to
get the next pay grade,
the next exactly.
And
all of a sudden you're more valuable to your employer.
Yeah, and this is a national credential, so as much as we love Fitchburg and we love good old Massachusetts, if life takes them somewhere else where the road will take them, this credentialing takes them to wherever they need to go. So it's a nice, just something to have in your resume and back pocket.
Not like there's any reason to leave
Absolutely not.
North Central Massachusetts.
Absolutely not, but you know, it's always great to have those amazing national credentials underneath you.
Yeah.
So.
And so all these classes are at your Devens campus.
Correct, yep.
Is that in that brick building right off the?
Yep, 27 Jackson Road. If you get off of Route 2 and you're, you know, take Jackson Road, the first company, Biotechny, and then the next brick building, that's Mount Wachusett Community College.
I mean, it couldn't be any closer off the highway. It's right after Leominster. It's very close to here.
Absolutely, and something I would love to point out for the potential viewers of this is that we do have some, in this grant, because it is a grant-funded program, some support money. So if you know, a barrier is transportation, I want them to reach out to me and talk to me about it and not exclude this program, because we do have the MART system that does come to Devens. And
MART does go to Devens.
It does, and we can help for the time frame of the program cover the cost of the bus pass so that there is no more barriers. There's no excuses.
This just keeps getting better.
Come on down.
Guys, I really love this program.
It's a great program. It's a great
An
program.
important thing about it is that we're working with the employers to validate it, and so, and organizations like the North Central Chamber of Commerce connects us to employers as well. What are the skills that are missing? What do you need? What should we be providing to you? You know, we try to be responsive to their needs, and this is how this has evolved. Automation, robotics, quality, that's what we hear are needs. There are needs for machine tool technology and other programs as well that you might get at Monty Tech. That's a huge investment in equipment. We decided we would go after the robotics and the automation. Here's a different set of training tools that we can provide, and here's an opportunity for people to learn something that's, you know, jobs for the future.
And it's jobs that are in need right now. So let's talk about some of the jobs that our students can get. What companies are you working with right now? Or what companies were you trained for that your students of the past have gotten jobs at? Can we talk about companies?
Definitely.
What jobs we can get?
Well, the biggest ones right there at Devens are Nipro J-Bill and SMC. They're both injection molding plastics companies that are into this space for medical devices. So they have all of the different check boxes of need that we're trying to address. A lot of the other manufacturing companies, you know, West Rock is a cardboard corrugated manufacturer. They have a lot of automated processing companies like
machines that cut boxes and fold them, and
yeah, and so people have to, you know, maintain, repair, install, and validate that type of equipment. Boutwell Owens is a company right here that does that kind of stuff right in Fitchburg. Sterling Manufacturing, you know, Marley does this kind of stuff. Those are some of the plastics companies.
Micron Products in
Micron
Fitchburg?
Products,
They're
most
medical.
definitely. Yep, they're in that space as well. And even the Bristol-Myers Squibb, you know, the big biopharma company that's right across the street from our campus, they rely on a lot of this automation equipment and, of course, the heavy reliance on the quality systems. You know, Johnson Matthey right next to them as well, Biotechny right next door to us at Devens, Parker Hannafin, you know,
There's a lot of job
manufacturing is
opportunities
so
that this
Catania
brings
oils.
up.
If you're a foodie, Catania Oils is right down. They hired a few of our
The
students.
fancy olive oils?
That's correct. Yeah, they've hired a few of our students, and they're actually in talks about internships and things like that with us. So, you know, we have opportunities left and right for our students where we try to place them and find the right fit.
Yeah, because another thing to remember is food processing. The automate, is
It's gotta
a
be a
type
clean
of
environment.
manufacturing. It's got to be clean and it's got to be automated to be cost effective.
As well as quality.
The big giant vats of stuff.
Yep.
Or like that new little leaf lettuce place there at Devens. It's an automated
Oh, is it like a
greenhouse.
vertical farming?
They have a process where they, plant the seeds in the hydroponics and they move it along and put it in the package and send it to the grocery stores.
I haven't seen that. That sounds
Yeah,
fancy.
it's pretty amazing. And if you see it in the stores, it's very it's so fresh. It's most of you remember hearing about the
It's
big
because it's
lettuce.
grown. Is it grown local?
It's grown
in
right there at
Devens?
Devens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Devens a lot. That's where we work. But Leominster, Fitchburg, the heart of the industrial base of North Central Mass, and where a lot of our students come from. There's a lot of companies here, and there's a lot
There's
of
a
smaller
lot of companies in Fitchburg and Leominster manufacturing
and they're
opportunities.
doing well, and so that's why it's so important that we work with the chamber so that we can, find ways. AIS is another example of a company there in Leominster. They make the
AIS.
they make the office furniture.
Oh, okay.
And they have an amazing process by which they cut and put the pieces together, custom furniture, for just about any setting in an office environment, cubicles, desks, and things like that. But that relies on a lot of expensive equipment to do the work, but you've got to have good people to make sure that expensive equipment keeps
So this is
working.
a free training program that really opens the doors to a lot of opportunities that you didn't even know existed, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in working with the chamber, we have Matt Myers, who's coming on to, after you to talk about the Amp It Up program, which really focuses on the workforce development of younger children up to high school, right?
To learn that the careers in manufacturing aren't the sweatshops that you might have envisioned, Oliver Twist or whatever, So there are good
Because
opportunities.
there's a negative stigma when it comes to, a manufacturing job.
Yeah, so how do you get it out there that it's a good career path? You have to not only let the children know and the young adults, but the parents and the generations that have the stigma even more so.
Maybe, instead of pushing your kid that might not be so great in college, but they want to do something that will still further them along.
Get a good career path
good
and not
career.
saddle them with debt. And there's computers. And that's why what they do is so important, because they're coordinating tours of facilities. And there's nothing better than to get people out there and say, oh, yeah, this is the work environment. I could do that. Or you see somebody that is like you. It's like, I could do her job, Whatever.
Yeah.
It really takes, engagement so that it's not just this is what it is, you're going to like it. You
We got
gotta see
options.
It.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on and
Thank
talking to us
you.
about the Mount Wachusett Community College Workforce Training, Manufacturing Training Program. So you can call up Mount
Call me
Wachusett. What's that number again, Brianna?
978-630-9883 or 978-630-9552.
9552, that's right on the screen
Just ask
there.
for me, Brianna Pena, and I'll be able to help you guys out.
All right, thank you so much, John and
Thank
Brianna
you.
from
Appreciate
Wachusett
it.
Community College. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk with the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce on what they're doing with their workforce development. Sam Squalia here with Susan Navarre of the Fitchburg Historical Society, and we're talking about the documentary Maracana that will be playing Saturday, June 2nd, 6 p.m. at the Fitchburg Historical Society. What's this documentary about?
Well, it's about an extraordinary upset in the world of world soccer.
Or football.
Football in many parts of the country. There are many parts of the world, you're right. In that year, the World Cup was held in Brazil, and it was expected that Brazil would win because they were a monster team. They always win, that's right. And the Uruguayan team had a huge upset. And so this is a movie that shows lots of scenes from the game and also interviews the players. So you find out, how did this happen? And it's a fun come from behind. And the Consulate General of Uruguay in New York is bringing it to Fitchburg and showing it at the Fitchburg Historical Society.
So this is a great connection.
Exactly. It's a great way, I think, for people who are interested in sports history or just in Fitchburg to learn a little bit more about the Uruguayan population.
And
that
this is
lives
also
here.
put on with the Comité de Vecinos?
Yes, exactly.
The Committee of Neighbors.
Exactly.
In Fitchburg.
Of Fitchburg, yes. They were the ones who connected us with the Consulate General of Uruguay. So we're very excited about this opportunity to bring this nifty movie to the Historical Society, show it for free, and have a chance for people to get together and sort of celebrate the world of soccer, celebrate the world of Uruguay, especially because this year is a World Cup year.
Yes.
So everybody's getting pretty excited about the soccer season coming up.
So that's Saturday, June 2nd at the Fitchburg Historical Society, 6 p.m. It's free to all, and it's Maracana. It's a documentary on the Uruguayan win in 1950 against Brazil. All right, fantastic. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3.
Hi, Sam Squalia here with Jeff Morawski, our Deputy DPW Commissioner. And we're talking about the Rain Barrel program that the Fitchburg DPW Conservation Commission and...
Well, there's two divisions of DPW, the wastewater division and the engineering division, and then also Concom we're partnering with.
Yes, so we're getting rain barrels for the city of Fitchburg. Well, let's talk about that.
Right. We wanted to do a rain barrel program. It helps multiple departments within the city, and it offers potential for homeowners that like to do irrigation at the home for either gardens or landscaping to be able to capture rainwater that comes off the roof, which is still pretty clean, and then get it applied to their growing gardens.
So this is a 60-gallon barrel that you literally put under the downspout. You connect to the downspout of your home, and it'll collect your rainwater that you can use for the garden. And is there
Yes.
anything else you use that for, or is it mostly gardening?
It's mostly gardening. It can be used with vegetable gardens, but you have to be a little bit careful about that. And we'll talk about this a little bit more because we're going to have a public workshop at the Senior Center, and that's going to be on Thursday, May 24th, beginning at 6 p.m.
So at 6 p.m., Thursday, May 24th at the Senior Center, you can come see a barrel in action, and you can ask questions on how it works and see how to set it up.
Correct.
All right, great. And so these rain barrels are offered to us from the Great American Rain Barrel Company. That we have a website. You can go right to tgarb.com. That's the Great American Rain Barrel Company, and you can click on Community Programs. Go to Massachusetts. Go to Fitchburg, and the program pricing will then appear after you do that. And you can click Shop. And what are the rain barrel choices that we have, Jeff?
For the rain barrels, there can either be painted rain barrels or unpainted rain barrels, and there's a little bit of a price difference between them. They're all 60-gallon barrels, and they're repurposed from shipping olives that come over from Europe. So they're repurposing them.
So we're reusing.
Exactly. We're reusing this. They're tough, they're hardy, they're made of HDPE plastic. The painted barrels are available in an evergreen color, a dark brown color, and also a light gray color. And those program prices for the painted barrel is $69 a piece. Now the unpainted barrel will either be a black barrel, which is available for $64 a piece, or a Great American Rain Barrel has a special price for terracotta colored barrels.
Like an orangey.
Exactly, that clay pot type of color, and that's available for $60 each.
Good deal. And it's still approximately half price of what their regular retail prices are.
And it's very competitive with the big box home improvement stores. These are larger barrels than what's typically available to us by the big box home improvement stores, and the pricing is even a little bit better than what you can get at those big box stores.
Yep.
So it's a good program if someone's interested in this.
And so the deadline to purchase this Fitchburg Rain Barrel is Sunday, June 3rd at midnight on the website there at tgarb.com, right?
Right.
And when do we pick these up? How do we get them?
We will have a distribution event held at the West Wastewater Treatment Plant that's off of Princeton Road That's 230 Princeton Road. It's going to be on Saturday, June 9th, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m.
All right, so it's, right off of Westminster Street. You get on Princeton Road. It's the wastewater treatment facility right there. Saturday, June 9th, 9 to 11 a.m. That's when we pick up our rain barrels.
Yes.
And if you want to learn how they work, then you go Thursday, May 24th to the Senior Center at 6 p.m. and Jeff will be there to show you all the bells and whistles.
Yes, and these are very popular with gardeners. We've been reaching out to a number of organizations, including Growing Places, the Gardener's Spot, which is in Leominster, Colley's Garden Center, Romano's Greenhouses, Mill Number 3. They're all associated with landscaping type of activities. So we've been reaching out to them to spread the word on the program. So these are very popular with people who love to garden. So that group, if they're very good about watering their gardens and watering their landscaping, beautifying their property, there is a potential to save a little bit of money on bills. It's not going to be dramatic savings, but it could be the difference between billing at 2 units or 3 units.
Yeah, if you use a lot of water to water your garden, the 60 gallons might put you over the edge. Might save you from that next cubic feet of usage. All right.
Correct.
Fantastic. Anything else that we need to add?
I think that's pretty much it. The drivers were wastewater has a commitment by our consent decree where we have to pursue green infrastructure, and a rain barrel is a form of green infrastructure. It was also something that we thought would be a good stepping stone into a broader green infrastructure program. Engineering, their interest in the program was they have an MS4 obligation that has to do with stormwater. So this is also helpful for that program. And then, of course, Conservation Commission, their obligations are under the Wetlands Protection Act. And this is helping to prevent pollution from being washed to the wetlands resources by stormwater.
So it's a win-win-win-win.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. So this is the Great American Rain Barrel Community Program for the city of Fitchburg. It's available to Fitchburg residents. Go to tgarb.com and you have until Sunday, June 3rd to purchase. All right, thank you very much. Hi, welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. We're on our second half of the show. We're talking about training, workforce development, manufacturing training, and I have Matt Myers here from the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce. And you're going to talk about the Amp It Up program, where we're focusing on the younger generation. Before we were talking about the Wachusett Community College, the 17 to 29-year-olds. And what ages do you focus on for the Amp It Up program?
So at the Chamber, with Amp It Up and really through all of our workforce development programs, we really focus on middle school to high schoolers. And really, instead of the direct training that the Mount really works on, it's all about education for us. So letting these kids know, and their parents and the folks at the schools know, that manufacturing, it's not your grandfather's manufacturing, it's advanced manufacturing, and these are skilled jobs that pay really well, and there's jobs where you don't need the college degree.
Right. So these are things, you gotta, when you're young, you might think, what do you want to be when you grow up? Firefighter, architect, a policeman, doctor, nurse, but then when you start to get older, they start to really push you towards college. But this is another career path. There's not just vocational technical high school and college, there's other career paths as well. And that's what you're trying to show or to
really get out to
present to middle schoolers and high schoolers. Is that right?
Exactly. So really what we're trying to do is give people that other option and let them know that there's all these great other options out there. So through the Amp It Up program, it's a grant that we get through the state of Massachusetts. We've got it 4 out of the past 5 years. This year we got $8,000, and it's really all about, as I mentioned, education. So we do a lot of tours. We've done some videos in the past promoting manufacturing matters in North Central Massachusetts, the importance of the steel industry, the plastics industry, showing not only the great jobs that we have in the area, but the diversity of jobs as well. We have over 440 manufacturers in North Central Massachusetts alone. 440
job opportunities, company opportunities that you could get employment.
440 different manufacturers, which is amazing. And scary statistic is that 32% of the manufacturing workforce is 55 or older. And yet, when polled, the 18 to 35-year-olds, the lowest classification job that they want to take is manufacturing.
Right.
So it's really
because
up to
there's
us.
a stigma and a perception that a manufacturing job is heavy lifting and hot and not looked and frowned upon.
Yeah, it's not that skilled work and labor that it really is today. So it's really up to us to change that stigma and change the mindset of these students. So a lot of things that we do a lot of tours. So we work with.
So you'll take students from the middle school to a company like Sterling Manufacturing or something like that?
So we work with a couple different partners. So we've worked with the Goodrich School, Leominster High School, Boys and Girls Club. We've done a lot with. We have a tour coming up on May 29th with them. But we've worked with everybody from DRS to Rochelle O'Toole, Burkhart over in Sterling. Over in Shirley, sorry. They do the flutes and piccolos, so really showing the wide range of
They
everything.
make musical instruments?
Yes, they do, right in North Central
cool.
Massachusetts. They're one of the few that still do it by hand, and they're really world-renowned. And that's really what manufacturing is in Massachusetts, and specifically North Central, is all of these companies really do a lot of business across the world. So we're world-renowned in manufacturing. It's just making sure we get that notoriety locally as well.
And training the next career of our workers, because as you said, 32% are over 55.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of jobs coming available.
Yes, there are. And that's why it's so important that we reach these middle schoolers. That way, I mean, by the time they get to the age where they're going to be in the workforce, those 55-year-olds are going to be on their way out towards retirement more than likely. And those jobs are going to be open and need to be filled. And if we don't have the students and the workforce that are filling that pipeline, then we're going to have a massive gap in workforce.
Right. And not only for our companies to thrive, you know, we want people to purchase their products, but we need people to actually work in the companies to make these products.
Exactly.
Yeah. We can't be bussing them out from around. We need to employ the people that work here.
And for us, it's about making sure we keep the talent locally. We don't want, I mean, as great as it is to send students across the nation and really we want to try to keep the talent in North Central Massachusetts where all these jobs are.
And it sounds like you're making, you know, great connections and collaborations with organizations to really have a comprehensive system. Like you're working with Wachusett Community College, and then you're working with all the different companies as well to really connect with exactly what they need in their workers, and then you connect with the community college to train them for exactly what your companies need, and then you're getting the younger children to go up through that whole pipeline. I mean, it sounds like a really great collaborative network that you guys are building here.
I mean, one of the nicest part about us being one of the leading business organizations in the region is we have our, you know, hand on the pulse of these businesses. So we find out.
They're calling you saying, I need 20 workers. In the next year, we're going to be starting this new manufacturing.
All of their concerns about what the workforce is looking like currently, what it's going to be looking like with the younger employees that they're currently hiring, what they're having to train them on now that they don't have time for. That way we can relay that to our different partners with the Mount, Fitchburg State, and even the high schools, technical schools, and even the Boys and Girls Club, to really help us train the students in these different skills, whether they be soft skills or robotics. The Boys and Girls Club does a lot with robotics, which is great.
Boys and Girls Club is like a little college university for children.
It's amazing what they do there.
If you haven't taken a tour of the Boys and Girls Club of Fitchburg and Leominster, you need to go and schedule one because it is incredible. They have they have everything there.
Yeah,
that's a segue.
They really do. So, like I said, one of our big focuses is tours for these students, really getting them out to the manufacturers, because a lot of times you don't hear about these great businesses that are in the area just because they're focused on the big popular names, and the manufacturers don't do a ton of marketing for themselves.
What are the big popular names?
Oh, when you're thinking about big popular places to go to work, people are thinking about potentially Wachusett Mountain, Great Wolf Lodge, the places that can market themselves as a business, so that gets
always seeing jobs for Great Wolf Lodge.
Exactly. Yeah. So that gets a lot of that gets you in the mindset of, oh, that's a place I want to work. Manufacturers generally don't do a lot of marketing because a lot of their business is exporting. So this is a great opportunity for us to get kids into these different businesses to really show off all the great work that they have available.
Yeah, and you know, like we were talking about with the representatives from Wachusett Community College, they have things, hands-on training, which really seems so important to me because you know you can go to college and get a theoretical learning and you know read books and get theoretical teachings, but you could go to vocational training and you can actually be using and manipulating the machines, programming something and making the robot move the pieces around or whatever it is. I know just enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
But you know, the fact that you can actually go and learn on the equipment and then use that skill to get a career, to get your start in our local industry. It's just fantastic. I'm very impressed.
No, it's amazing, and really it's about starting at the floor for us. We want to start them early and then build them, and that way we can get them to the Mount for these training programs. Another great tour that we've done is we do a superintendent's tour. So we take
superintendents.
So we take our superintendents, guidance counselors, local legislators, and we take them on a tour, bus tour, to a number of our different businesses to show them the diversity of manufacturing in North Central Massachusetts.
Because a lot of the kids will talk to their guidance counselor, or or their parents will reach out to their legislators or the superintendent or the teachers and say, you know, my kid's, you know, I'm not really sure what, you know, we want to do. And they can connect with your program.
Exactly, and that's the goal, because a lot of times when they reach out to these folks, number one thought is, you need to go to college. But
that's
really
lately in our society what we're doing.
And to get a great paying job and a career that you're going to really enjoy, you don't need to go to college. There's all these skilled jobs that are available for people who maybe school's not for you.
Right.
And there's all this opportunity that we're looking to really have these students take advantage of.
Now, you work with Fitchburg State University as well, and you know, we just learned about what Wachusett Community College is doing. What is Fitchburg State University doing on a workforce training level?
So I can't specifically speak to directly what the university is doing,
Yep.
but I know they've partnered with us on a number of different tours, working with their students as well, getting them out, because I know they have a construction, not major, but they have a construction focus on one of their majors that really tries to push people towards that way. And so they do a lot with maybe not the younger students, the middle schoolers, but with high schoolers, they're definitely helping us out with the training. And they partner very closely with the Mount. We're really lucky to have schools that work so closely together.
Right. Fantastic. All right. So what are some of the companies that, you know, you work with as the chamber, and you really work with a lot?
So with this workforce development, we work with a lot of the manufacturers in the region. Manufacturing is one of our biggest assets in this region. So DRS, we've done multiple tours with. Nipro on both campuses, we've done Clinton and Devens. We've done Botwell Owens, we've done a number of times. Recently we did Little Leaf.
Little Leaf.
Little Leaf Farms in Devens.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So they're a manufacturer of lettuce, and it's all grown indoors in a manufacturing facility, which is wonderful to really take a look at. And you know, as I mentioned, we have 440 different manufacturers in the region, and manufacturing is a big focus for us. And one of the things that we do is print a manufacturer's directory that lists all of the manufacturers in North Central Massachusetts, or all of the ones who respond to our phone calls, emails, and everything else, all the reach out that we do. And it also lists a lot of vendors for these folks. So this is a great resource for, you know, even businesses that are looking for other businesses, because we want everyone to do business with each other in North Central Massachusetts.
Right.
Keep that almighty dollar in the region.
So you can go to the chamber right on South Street in Fitchburg and pick up your 2018 manufacturer's directory?
Yes.
Directory? Oh, can we pull that? Oh, there we go. It's right on the screen. Yes. So, and this has, how many manufacturers are listed in here approximately?
We have over 440, and we even have a special life sciences section.
Life sciences, because that's big in Massachusetts.
It's very
and they're
big,
really
and
pushing that.
It's growing every day, which is awesome. And we even have a full listing map view of all the industrial parks in the area. Some of our industrial parks still have space available for people who are looking to move in, and we do a lot with site selection companies as well, trying to bring in new businesses, not just manufacturers, but businesses to North Central Massachusetts.
Right, so, you know, if you're a business and you're considering where are you going to locate, North Central Massachusetts has already got this great network of workforce training that we're training our local workers for the next generation of manufacturing, so we have some space available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
a lot of the other things we do on top of the tours is we do every October, it's Manufacturing Month.
October's Manufacturing
October's
Month? I thought it was
Manufacturing
Truck
Month.
Month.
It might be Truck Month too. But so we do a lot of outreach just to the general public. So we do a number of events that reach out to all of our different businesses, reach out to the public, and then we do some massive social media campaigns as well with some national statistics and some local statistics, really promoting all of the great jobs and promoting the manufacturing industry in general.
So, you know, another great opportunity if you're a manufacturer is to connect with the Chamber of Commerce so that you can get involved with the pipeline of workers
Yes.
of our next generation
Exactly.
to lower that 32% of 55 and older workers that are
Yeah.
retiring within, what, 10 to
10,
20
potentially
years?
15, maybe 20 years if they're lucky.
Yeah, if they
And-
want to keep working.
Exactly. And some people will.
Yep.
Some people keep working, but either way, there's going to be a massive gap for jobs. And
Well, I
it's
mean, 10
really-
years goes by like that.
That it does.
Yeah.
So it's really, you know, we're taking it upon ourselves to really help educate the next workforce as they're coming up on all these great opportunities.
And are you finding that the students in the schools are really receptive, or are you getting a little bit of pushback?
So the nice part is all of the students, they have to register with their guidance counselors or with their program directors.
So
for
you're
these
not taking
tours.
an entire class?
We're not
You're-
taking like the 6th grade class who's just looking to get out on a field trip.
Ah.
We're taking students who are interested in these tours. And sometimes these tours have come up with jobs for these students as they're graduating, which has been awesome for us because that's just immediate impact for our manufacturers right off the bat.
Right, and if you're young and you get involved in something, statistically, you're most likely to stick with it.
Yeah. And like we said, we're not looking for just jobs. We're looking for careers. And that's what we have available, and that's what we were trying to really preach to these students, is that this isn't just a job where you're going to take it and then you move on to something else, then you move on to something else. This is a career for your life.
Right, and and a lot of these jobs have similar manufacturing technologies. So you can learn one program for one company, and you might be able to move to another company as well.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not just working for one company and one manufacturing line. There's a lot of different branches that you could take in your career path throughout your life.
It's amazing the amount of different industries within manufacturing that we just have in our region. Great businesses like Steel Fab, right in Fitchburg, still big welding. They do a lot of wonderful things.
They make big, cool things.
They do a lot of different things, but it's all welding. It's a wonderful work that they do. We're doing a tour there coming up, and all the way to Little Leaf, where it's farming manufacturing, which is something completely different, and Boutwell Owens, where it's all packaging, but it's all done in these massive multi-million-dollar machines that all need to be programmed. So
You're
the
not folding boxes
are-
by hand.
Nope, it's all cut and printed and everything. We've done multiple tours there, and every time we bring the students there, they're just seeing the different cuts that they have and everything that these machines do right off the bat, and all these things that are made locally that they're like, oh, that's a national brand. I didn't know that that was made right here in Fitchburg. It's amazing to think about for these students, and it really is an eye-opener for them.
Right. Yeah, because then they start going places and they say, oh, I've seen that. Oh, they make this over there. And it gives you more of a sense of pride as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I'm a big proponent of vocational technical training, and this program just I really appreciate a lot. So what do you see as the next level? Like, what's happening into the future? What are the trends in the manufacturing? As Brianna said earlier, she said people are afraid that robots are taking our jobs. Are robots taking our jobs, Matt?
Robots are definitely not taking our jobs. They're changing the jobs. They're making the jobs more skilled. So instead of just going and beating something with a hammer for 8 hours a day, you're working on a computer, you're working on different programs, and you're working with these different robots that are making life easier, but at the same time helping us be more productive in the different things that we're doing. But things are definitely becoming more automated, but at the same time we're definitely moving to more of an advanced manufacturing cycle, which is very exciting for the region because there's always growth in that, and we're seeing the growth locally.
Now, for your Amp It Up program, is there any way that people can reach out to you saying, you know what, my middle schooler, I already know that my middle schooler would be perfect for this career path? Is there something that they should reach out to you, or do you directly work with the schools?
So we directly work with the schools. The Boys and Girls Club is a big partner of ours. But really for the businesses, we're always looking for different businesses that are interested in hosting these tours, hosting some students and showing off. And if any businesses are interested in potentially doing tours with us, please feel free to reach out. Our number is 978-353-7600. You can ask for Sandy Cataldo. She's our Economic Development Manager, and Sandy heads up all of these programs.
Perfect. Yeah, because we need more places that the kids want to come see and get excited to work for within the next 10 years.
That we do. Like I said, we have
5 maybe.
we have a great tour coming up at Earth Path, I believe it is, in Leominster. They do recycled flatware.
Really?
Which is really
recycled,
unique.
or is it like biodegradable?
It's biodegradable, composted,
compostable,
and recycled flatware that they're essentially redoing. So it's all green. So
instead of using forks, you know, plastic forks and throwing them in the trash and they go in the landfill forever, you can use plastic forks, put them in the compost bin.
And like I said, I don't directly handle these programs, and we're going to have that tour on the 29th, which we're really excited about with the Boys and Girls Club. And, you know, going green is so important to this next generation of millennials that's coming up. And seeing that that is happening locally in manufacturing is going to be huge for us and for them in their growth.
That's exciting just to hear about all these different companies locally and what they're doing. I didn't realize we had a compostable flatware company
maybe you can come
right in
on the tour.
Leominster. I might. I might. That sounds great. So, and then, you know, when you go and you see these large manufacturing businesses, you'll see these machines that are throwing out forks by the hundreds, you know, like, wow. And then you'll see these robots take these giant molds, and you're like, how can anyone learn how to do this? But
and that's
you can.
when we have a wonderful partnership with the Mount, and all of their training programs, especially these new ones that they're launching, have been just invaluable for the region, just really helping develop that next generation of workforce as they come in.
Mm-hmm. So you have a training with Earth Path.
Path.
Yes. And what else is next? What's coming up? What else do you have?
After that, we're going to be coming up, start working on Manufacturing Month. Which is coming up in October. So we're going to be doing multiple tours during that month. We're going to be celebrating Manufacturing Day, so we'll be doing a big thing with the Mount, I believe, on that day, and just really celebrating manufacturing, which has been so important to the region, not just currently, but historically.
Historically, absolutely. When a large manufacturer leaves, that makes a significant economic blow to our communities. So we need to build them up and literally get our people working in them.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. Do we have a lot of open jobs right now?
Currently, there are a good amount of open jobs as well, which is why the Mounts program is so important, because that can quickly backfill all of those jobs as they're coming in. But you know, the worry is that 32% that are 55 plus, either, mind you, that's plus. There's some people that are 65. They're getting ready to retire now, and those openings are opening up every day. So we're trying to get those the next generation to fill all those jobs as they're coming up.
The future is coming soon.
The future is now.
Yeah, the future is now. So start looking to that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Matt Myers from the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce. And earlier we spoke with Wachusett Community College on their workforce manufacturing training programs. So you can contact the Wachusett Community College about their workforce training program, their manufacturing training programs. They have multiple of them. The first one starting July 10th during the day, and then they have one starting in August, and that's at night. And you can contact the Chamber of Commerce if you're a manufacturer and you want to give tours and, you know, just to open up all these opportunities. So thank you so much for everyone for joining. You've been watching Discussing Fitchburg Now, and we'll see you next week. All right? Thank you.